Hey.
Hey, just
How you doing?
Michael.
All right?
Yeah.
What you been up to?
Not much. Had a pretty woke up with a sore neck, and so I just had a
No.
pretty restful day.
How's that happened?
Is that done it funny?
Okay. Okay. So it wasn't like lifting babies up or anything? No.
Nothing. Okay. Well, there's that every day. So maybe,
Yeah.
but nothing I noticed out of the ordinary.
Okay. How's the heat wave with you? Has it hit you yet?
No, we've been
Just
cooler than
normal.
usual here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually been nice. We had rain a couple of days ago.
Oh, nice. Okay. Refreshing. Cool. So what have you been up to? Any nice walks anywhere? Or?
We haven't really ventured far from home for a while. We went camping like 3 days ago.
Oh, how was that?
It was nice. We just there's an abandoned farm just across the road from us.
Yeah.
And so we just it's presumably quite illegal, but nobody sees us. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds cute.
Yeah, it's nice. Ara's first time camping, she loved it. So. Yeah.
What's it like seeing sort of new experiences?
Yeah. But it's a bit of a test run because we have some friends we might visit who we'd have to camp. So seeing how she took it, and yeah, so.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, fab.
Message from Andrea.
Yeah.
Hello, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea. Oh.
Hello, Rabbit.
Hey. This is a new seating position. Whereabouts are you? Have you moved house or just moved room?
Me?
Yeah.
So I missed out some of that. Yeah, I'm in Barry near Cardiff now. I've moved.
Okay. How's it going in the new place?
Good. Yeah, I moved on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Moved on Wednesday. Now it's Saturday now. Yeah. Been sorting out a few things. It's my I don't know what I'm calling. It's a few things need to be minor DIY jobs to be doing today. I replaced the window latch and fixed the wooden skirting.
Nice. Hey, Frankie.
Hi.
Hey, Zach.
Hey. Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
Hello.
Pretty good. How y'all doing?
Good, thanks. Yeah. Robert's just talking us through his new house, his new place in Barry.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just did some DIY today. Just fixed the window latch and the window and some well. What now? Lots of little jobs. Yeah, moved here on Wednesday. That's what been absent.
Oh, cool. How's life in Bristol?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Fantastic. What things have you been eating? All the things.
Good question. I approve of that question. Frankie, what have you been eating?
We had some delicious home-baked sourdough.
You start at the beginning.
Oh, start with the entrees, definitely. Yeah.
She skipped a bit.
So we started, as is traditional, with a glass of bubbly and a cinnamon.
They go together so well.
They do. They really do.
This beautiful gentleman. And
good bubbly.
Malcolm was here for that bit, so Malcolm had a glass of bubbly and a cinnamon bun tea. And then we had dinner.
Then we had dinner.
Yeah.
And we had sourdough.
And mushroom pate.
Mushroom pate and some kind of slow roasted tomato mush.
Reduced puree, something or other.
And some very good cheeses.
Good cheese. Camembert.
Very nice olives.
Yeah.
Bit of chocolate.
Yeah.
Nice red wine. Hi, Andrea.
Hi. Hey.
Bina's here. Bina, happy birthday. He's potentially hiding. How are you doing, Andrea? Long time no see.
You know you're going to say thank you?
I wasn't on. audio or video. Hello, I'm making.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Have you had a lovely day?
Yeah, it's been really nice. I've seen Nick and Katie and Jenna, Neville and Ian in 3D.
Ooh,
What?
exciting.
I know, right?
In real?
In real.
That's okay.
And Alan says I had a cake. I did have a cake.
What kind of
Nice.
cake?
A love cake, which is like spicy and has orange and rose flavor.
Ooh.
So good.
Delicious. Very delicious.
There's a demon stolen Andrea's voice. It's a wizard.
Oh, the other person is trying to stop. Okay.
Okay. That makes sense. I didn't want to ask just in case it was kind of a personal thing, but okay.
So the game of tonight is to make Andrea laugh hard enough that the other person wakes up anyway. Do you think we can do it?
Challenge accepted. Yes.
Hi, Andrea.
That's why she's not-
Hello.
Hi, Andrea. Ingrid.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's the cool new name. Man. I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited for your poem, Mike.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to. We're excited to hear everyone's. Yeah.
Has anybody? Andrea, I've just seen that. Has anybody got poems that they would like to contribute that I haven't already got? I know Mike's got one, Em's got one, Katie's got a couple. I believe you have Liz Berry, Times.
Yeah. Also, like whole of the world's wife basically fits this theme.
Yeah. I'm just going to put you down for like times.
Some poems.
As many as are needed.
Yeah, awesome. And there is also Maria. So Maria and Michael can't make it tonight. Michael's not very well.
Oh no. Oh.
So Maria had a contribution that was going to read, but will not be able to make it. So I may pass it on to somebody else to read, so that it can still be read. So
Who's got the best Scottish accent here then?
It's not a Scottish one.
Oh, okay.
It's not a Scottish one. For once, we have a request in poetry time that isn't specifically so that we can all drool over Scottish accents.
This is very off trend.
It's very off trend. Well, we're all things tonight. It's alternative love, Mike.
You're right. Yes. Well called it back.
She was.
Jeez.
That was a sneaky Katie.
What a minx. Hi, Tara.
Popping up and saying hello.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Your face.
Get your face out.
Get your face out.
Get out.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. I apologize. Zachary,
Being a miscreant.
This is why you're not allowed at poetry time.
This is why.
Oh, Bino, that was such a lovely kind of like indie film style swinging shot. Your beautiful face stayed like in the center of the frame.
Solid.
Your hair just kind of like moved slightly as you like twirled delightedly. I felt like your indie boyfriend, which was nice.
I can see the guitar up there already, so definitely indie rock.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Summertime.
Right, so we've got a couple more minutes till official beginning of Storytime. Em will be joining us at some point, so we'll wait and see if they rock up imminently. If not, we can just kind of begin and they can jump onto Storytime. are you staying for poetry time? Or,
At least some of it. Kind of like a little washing up.
How's everyone else? Andrada, how are you today, sweetie?
Good. I had a friend over and we had a barbecue in my pebble square that's meant to be a garden.
That's very exciting. Congratulations on your social interaction.
We roasted marshmallows. It was great.
Ooh, roasted marshmallows.
Got a bit of a sugar crush right now, though. But
It's, you need some poetry. You need some poetry to just
Lift you back up.
Yeah.
Also, I hung a thing on the wall. It's a puzzle that I've had for ages and never made it, and eventually I did it.
That's excellent. What is it of? I can't really see.
Collage.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward. It's got a bunch of old vintage cars on it.
That's
Oh,
Pinya.
cool. Very, very cool.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Disgusting.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Whoever has a drink with them, cheers. Oh, that's nice. Good tea is good. Right, I think we may officially begin poetry time. Is everybody ready? Are the people who are stealthily concealed behind the veil of anonymity? Are you ready?
Hey, Katie.
Katie had quite. They left here like with maybe not enough time to cycle all the way home and make dinner.
There's Katie. There is Katie. Katie, are you wearing lipstick?
No.
Are you not?
You definitely look
Particularly beautiful tonight. Ah. Swoon. Right. Right. Okay. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh, that's loud.
The gavel. Storytime gavel.
Okay.
I hereby call this meeting of Storytime to order.
You disorderly lot.
Yes, you disorderly lot. So, so tonight's theme is alternative love. Oh, sorry, I've just seen Tara's message about buzzy noise.
It's just your laptop.
It's just my laptop. It's shitty. Zach says if I unplug
Does that make a difference?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm sorry. When there's some cash free, I'll get a proper laptop that I can, or a mic for the laptop. Yeah, that's possibly it. Is it so bad that I should send my poems to other people to read?
No. But I guess as long as you're on mute as well when other people are reading.
Yeah. So I've got 3 poems, and if it's like if the buzz is going to mean that the poems are not to, I will send them to somebody else to read.
No, it's just kind of background. Yeah.
Okay. Right. In that case, I now officially this time I really do this meeting to order, and that's all I'll have said on the matter. The theme of this one is alternative love, which is very, very exciting, and we also have it's also Bina's birthday edition, which I think Bina means that you can just read whatever the hell you want or request whatever the hell you want. So, Bina, do you have any birthday requests before we get started? That is fine. If anything occurs to you, shout up, and we are at your service for tonight. So we've got a few different people who will be reading tonight. I would like to begin, if that would be okay. And then me and my fan buzz will be quiet for a little bit. So I thought I would like to start with a poem that I've loved for many, many years and has been kind of quite significant to me on various different occasions, which is about loving yourself. But it's amazing for all that. So this is Love After Love by Derek Walcott. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life. I love that one. Isn't it? So, would Katie, I believe you have at least a couple?
Yes. Would you? So I need to finish the one which I'm writing, which I will hopefully do by the end of the session. I have one about a granny telling her granddaughter not to use the word love so often, and one which is about plants falling in love and politics.
Oh my god. Could we have plants and politics?
Mm-hmm.
I am.
So this one is actually a song, but it fitted this theme so perfectly that I will just read it as a poem. It's a song by Flanders and Swan, and it's called Misalliance. And I think I know it, but because I can't sing it, I might not be able to say it, so I've got the words just in case. The fragrant honeysuckle spirals clockwise to the sun, and many other creepers do the same, but some climb anti-clockwise. The bindweed does for one, or convolvulus to give her proper name. Rooted on either side of the door, one of each species grew and raced towards the window ledge above. Each corkscrewed to the lintel in the only way it knew, where they stopped, touched tendrils, smiled, and fell in love. Said the right-handed honeysuckle to the left-handed bindweed, "Oh, let us get married if our parents don't mind. We'd be loving and inseparable, inextricably entwined. We'd live happily ever after," said the honeysuckle to the bindweed. To the honeysuckle's parents, it came as a shock. "The bindweeds," they cried, "are inferior stock. They're uncultivated, of breeding bereft. We twine to the right and they twine to the left." Said the anti-clockwise bindweed to the clockwise honeysuckle, "We'd better start saving many a mickle maximuckle, then run away for a honeymoon and hope that our luck'll take a turn for the better," said the bindweed to the honeysuckle. A bee who was passing remarked to them then, "I've said it before and I'll say it again. Consider your offshoots, if offshoots there be. They'll never receive any blessings from me. Poor little sucker, how will it learn when it is climbing which way to turn? Right, left, what a disgrace! Or it may go straight up and fall flat on its face." Said the right-hand thread honeysuckle to the left-hand thread bindweed, "It seems they're against us, all fate has combined. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Columbine, thou art lost and gone forever, we shall never intertwine." Together they found them the very next day. They had pulled up their roots and just shriveled away, deprived of that freedom for which we must fight, to veer to the left or to veer to the right.
Yay! Oh, thanks.
That
I love that.
very, very cool. Very cool, very good.
And very well voiced.
Beautifully done. Oh, hi Elle. So, Elle, you've mentioned in the past when you've come for poetry time that it would be helpful if people could drop the poems into the chat so that you'd be able to read them along with. Would you like that tonight as well? If you are non-speaking, then just drop something in the chat if you would like that. So who should we have next? Bina, would you like to do one next?
What kind of tone?
Ooh, what do you fancy?
A Liz Berry type tone would be nice. You're very faint, Lovey.
Yeah, we can't hear you very well, Bina.
Me? Normally I'm so loud. Still?
Definitely quieter than usual.
This has literally never happened before.
It's like you're in a little box.
Have a play.
Okay. Well, if you want to have a little play, and then Mike, how would you feel about doing yours now?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure.
Excited about this. Oh.
Stage fright.
Mike, are you with us? Mike.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Great, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there with the camera. Okay, fab. Okay. Thanks. So this is called Brave New Love. The question you ask me, the one my mind still fears but perversely longs to hear, could we be more than friends? Breathe. A sliding doors moment we can cross, but trekking back's an impossible journey. To me, the answer always seemed so sure, but waves of fear now lapping my brain ever more, eroding what was once so clear. Pause. I reach inside, remove the lid and layers of tissue paper that hide and protect my vulnerable heart, to reveal what might be left after all this time. Still there, but just as raw as before, so delicate, whilst now whole again, the cracks still remain, showing I shouldn't risk any more pain. How to phrase this in ways this will hurt you less than me? When I said cuddles with friends are the best thing, I meant every word and hoped you felt the same. But the words never came to back up the claim or explain why I feel the way I do. I say I love you so, so much, but there's more to it than that though. I love the touch of so many others too. This isn't rejection, but my reflection on a repeating series of lives leading to the same broken heart, with stories that start only to be cut short by putting one at the center and pushing the others apart. My heart's been torn so many times in multiple directions, perceived expectations confusing me into silence. Scared of the damage I'll cause with this double-edged sword, because my truth just isn't normal. Lines prepared, I'm ready to go, but no, I'd rather we rewind to a time when just friends were all that there was. Just friends isn't second best though, the rest don't yet know how good just can be. Justice for just is what we need. An emotional lake behind the dam of my eyes, fighting the urge to cry, sees me hoping that this isn't the sunset time for our hearts, but the dawn of greater than the sum of our parts. Love you truly, a next level friendship sails through me, a little hugboat, as you say you don't just understand, but you feel the same way too. Glory for you. Relax. Worry's now sinking, you take my hand and sink in with the feelings we've aired. The connection we've shared almost dropped, but you've dialed it back up, clicked restore, now stronger than before, as we enter this brave new love unleashed for us all.
Really gorgeous. Really gorgeous.
Love you all.
Love you too, Mike. Thank you for sharing that with us. Is there any chance you'd be able to drop that in the chat for?
Of course, yep.
See what's up.
Sorry about that, mate. Yep.
And Elle, would you be interested in reading one of yours now? I don't know if Elle's internet has stabilized. They've potentially frozen. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Elle's dropped out. Elle, if you can hear me and you would like to read your poems, shout up. Otherwise.
Hey. I'm trying to figure out whether my internet's stable enough. I just changed to 4G instead. But maybe next one I'll see if it cuts out or anything.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll.
Switched to a headset. Is that sound better?
You're still quite quiet, but it's definitely. Yeah, we can hear you. It's definitely.
Okay.
Just turn the volume up a bit.
Definitely audible, and I mean we're all going to be muted anyway. It's all good.
I'm very confused as to why, having been so loud, it's been a problem for people. It's now gone the opposite direction without me changing any settings.
Yeah.
It's a tiny bit of fluff or something stupid.
Yeah. Would you like to trial it by doing a one next? How would you feel about it?
Do that.
Yeah, if you've got a copy of it and would be able to drop it in the chat.
I have a physical copy, but let me see if it is online somewhere.
No problem. Yeah, if anyone who has physical copies of poems that they're reading is able to have a quick look and see if it is online, or if not, just like take a photo of it and like drop it in the chat. That would be.
So just a side note, I've been pasting it in, but there's a word limit on the chat. I didn't realise, so you had to kind of paste it in chunks.
No problem. Cool.
Got a link anyway to this one.
Magic. Cool. Thanks a lot, Bina.
So this one is called The Year We Married Birds, and it's by Liz Berry, and at least 50% of her poems are about birds, maybe more. That year, with men turning 30, still refusing to fly the nest, we married birds instead. Migrating snow buntings swept into offices in the city, took flocks of girls for Highland weddings. Magpies smashed jewelers' windows, kites hovered above bridal shops, a pigeon in Trafalgar Square learned to kneel. Sales of nesting boxes soared. Soon cinemas were wild as woods in May, while restaurants served worms. By June, a Russian kittiwake wed, the minister's daughter, gave her 2 freckled eggs, a mansion on the cliff. My own groom was a kingfisher, enigmatic, bright. He gleamed in a metallic turquoise suit, taught me about fishing in the murky canal. We honeymooned near the wash, the salt marshes booming with courting bittern. When I think of that year, I remember best the fanning of his feathers on my cheek, his white throat, how every building, every street rang with birdsong, how girls' wedding dresses lifted them into the trees like wings.
Yay! Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Bina, you are such a good ambassador for the works of Liz Berry.
I feel like if we do poetry long enough, though, I am going to run out of the works of Liz Berry at some point.
Just keep going around.
Yeah, I'm sure
Exactly.
we would not mind hearing them again.
Yeah, or just like drop her a line and be like, could you write some more? We really
Here's this week's topic.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure
Do you want to come hang out? You know,
Yeah.
do people here really love your work?
Right. Okay. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so Tara says that she found you really audible once we were all muted, Bina, so that's all good. And yeah, I could still hear you fine. Right. So, okay, thank you, my darling. So there is a poem that the one that Maria was going to read, which I think just having a little look of it. Mike Cox, would you be at all interested in reading this,
I can have a go.
I will send you the link for it.
Thank you very much.
And I think that you would read it very beautifully. But if you want a little look at it, and if you're happy to read it, then if you stick it in the chat to Elle. Next. Meantime, I have another one that I would like to read, if that would be okay. So this is one by Marge Piercy, who is the most fantastic poet. If you ever watch this on Catch Up. This is called To Have Without Holding. Learning to love differently is hard. Love with the hands wide open, love with doors banging on their hinges, the cupboard unlocked, the wind roaring and whimpering in the rooms, rustling the sheets and snapping the blinds that thwack like rubber bands in an open palm. It hurts to love wide open, stretching the muscles that feel as if they are made of wet plaster, then of blunt knives, then of sharp knives. It hurts to thwart the reflexes of grab, of clutch, to love and let go again and again. It pesters to remember the lover who is not in the bed, to hold back what is owed to the work that gutters like a candle in a cave without air, to love consciously, conscientiously, concretely, constructively. I can't do it. You say it's killing me, but you thrive. You glow on the street like a neon raspberry. You float and sail, a helium balloon, bright bachelor's button blue and bobbing on the cold and hot winds of our breath, as we make and unmake in passionate diastole and systole the rhythm of our unbound bonding. To have and not to hold, to love with minimized malice, hunger and anger, moment by moment, balanced.
So good.
How good is that?
Super lovely.
So, yes, I love that one.
Yeah.
Did you manage to have a little look at that?
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
Would
So
you
let me.
fancy reading that?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'll stick it in the chat to everyone. Then we can all, everyone, and the paste.
Thank you, Stacey.
Boom. Okay. Okay, so this is like totally unrehearsed, so let's see how it goes. It's called Maternity by Robert W. Service. There once was a square, such a square little square, and he loved a trim triangle. But she was a flirt, and around her skirt vainly she made him dangle. Oh, he wanted to wed, and he had no dread of domestic woes and wrangles, for he thought that his fate was to procreate, cute little squares and triangles. Now, it happened one day on that geometric way, there swaggered a big, bold cube. With a haughty stare, and he made that square have the air of a perfect boob. To his solid spell the triangle fell, and she thrilled with love's sweet sickness. For she took delight in his breadth and his height, but how she adored his thickness. So that poor little square just died of despair, for his love he could not strangle, while the bold cube led to the bridal bed, that cute and acute triangle. The square's sad lot she has long forgot, and his passionate pretensions. For she dotes on her kids, oh, such cute pyramids in a world of 3 dimensions. That's such a good poem, Frankie.
So cute. That was
great.
So cute. Beautifully read. Thank you so much, Mike. And thank you very much for Maria, wherever you are, for the recommendation.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Maria.
Very sweet. Now, who next?
I could go next.
I was going to say, would you be interested in doing yours next?
Yeah. This is a poem that specifically reminded me of Bina because I very much feel like Bina could have been this person to someone. And also, you'll see why. It's called Crush by Shane Corzin. I've been thinking about the word crush and how you were my first. How the worst thing that could have happened when you and I were 10. Made to work together on a grade 5 presentation about animals. I was so nervous. Without having ever met you, I began to reminisce about how you fell in love with me. It was your typical love story. School is attacked by zombie dinosaurs and shy kid saves the day. I think about the way I was when I was younger, about how my hunger for acceptance drove me to cannibalize my fantasies of love into loneliness, believing everybody else would have to die just for you to love me. But in a role reversal I never expected, you finger tripped your halos around the heads of snow angels. You saved me. Alone together in the back of a library, we studied each animal's secret society and learned the use of the collective noun. Example, a murder of crows. God knows it sounds ominous, but this is how I learned about community. We have names for the groupings that occur even in the open ocean. A battery of barracudas, a shiver of sharks, a school of fish. And I pondered the philosophy. Since barracudas and sharks are technically fish, wouldn't the term school of fish encapsulate them as well? It wasn't long before you went on to tell me that each term was in some way meant to suggest the nature of each species. A destruction of wildcats, a crash of rhinoceroses. This is not meant to say that each animal is considered in some way deadly. There are those that sound downright lovely. A murmuration of starlings, a kindle of kittens, an exhalation of larks. Some are meant to sound industrious or prestigious, a parliament of owls, a labor of moles. But I feel for the outcasts, a smack of jellyfish, an implausibility of wildebeest, an apology of Canadians. You love the classification, a cowardice of curs. I believe this is where the term underdog stems from. That sometimes we become more than the definitions that are thrust upon us, that we can bite back, that a pack of wolves is a part of our ancestry. And the moment we embrace our history, we become a new destiny. We can rewrite our legacy because we are a storytelling of ravens. I began applying this concept to my life, that arriving to the conclusion that dickheads congregate in groups. And I cannot describe the solemn pride that was mine when I arrived home with a report card that read, "Shame does not work well in groups." I told you this, and we both laughed. And maybe it was my happiness that gave me away, betrayed my position to the 3 boys who made a hobby out of making me cry. And I still remember the day from when they pushed me over in my chair. And you could have just sat there. I would have been angry. But instead, you decided to teach me that assholes come in bunches. I learned this fact to the back of that library. You helped me up off the ground and then turned around to tell my attackers, "You guys are a bunch of assholes." We were 10. If you ever want to know how it feels to be saved, just let someone save you. Let someone rescue the smile drowning inside you. It's not too late, I swear. See, I once hid my heart inside of a hat and pulled out a rabbit that ran away just so I could say it was a vanishing act. Ta-da! But through you, I learned real magic is about making things come back. I know, because when a 10-year-old girl can go on to shock 3 bullies into silence, you know you have just determined your lifelong definition of beautiful. And all of the other wonderful instances in your existence will volunteer to dim their brilliance so that throughout your life, this moment will shine brightest. You made the best snow angels, laid them out in 3s like paper dolls holding hands, and said it was because even 2 people can feel alone. I think of the time I would have destroyed the world just so I could be with you. I've grown up since then. I often think of a time when I placed a penny on top of a penny on a railroad track and waited for the train to squish one coin into the other so I could give you a 2-cent piece because you were scared one day they would raise the price of 1-cent candy. These are the ways I loved you. You were the only one to give me a card on Valentine's Day. Granted, you gave one to everyone, but hard to believe you gave the best one to me. All the other boys were jealous of a small card with a picture of a shark biting a heart saying, I think you're jawsome. I wanted to draw you a card of a crab pinching a heart saying, I think you're crabulous. My granddad advised me against it, citing that in my teens I would understand why that's not a good idea. Now, every time I see a lone snow angel, I think of you. So I offer you now a crush of hearts, a sacrifice of body parts laid upon the altar of better times. When the lines inside a coloring book were only suggestions, girl, sometimes you gotta scribble. Or color the sun purple, just so you know what it feels like to be in charge. Sometimes you gotta love just a little, so you can finally start to live large. I offer you a lifetime of held breaths, a juggernaut of thank yous, a thimble of blues, no who's who of by misuse, because I am made up of memories, and these are the diamonds I keep polished, just so I know what it's like to treasure something. Been thinking about the word crush, and how you were my first, how the worst thing that could have happened happened, when you turned 11 and moved away. Didn't even get to say goodbye, because you moved in the summer. And I returned to school, your absence echoed in my ears, for all the years I had left to deal with what it feels like to be alone. Grown up since then. But think often of the times when we were 10, when you made snow angels hold hands, laid them down side by side, and I tied my definition of beauty to your memory. We never even kissed, because you probably never knew. Goddamn, girl. I had the biggest crush on you.
That was really lovely.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much, Em.
Was lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks, happy birthday, Dina. You are so nice.
Elle?
Can I go next?
I think Elle has one that they
Oh, no, Elle can go next.
So, Elle, would you like to do yours? And then Katie?
Yeah, it's a very short one anyway. I'm gonna put the link up. It's by Joseph Brodsky, translated by Polina Balkina. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is From Nowhere with Love on the 8th of Marchember. From nowhere with love on the 8th of Marchember, dear respectful, my darling, doesn't matter. Even who, for the face, speaking frankly, is impossible to remember. Not yours and no one's best friend. Sends his regards being on one of the 5 continents related to cowboys. I loved you more than angels and even himself, and I'm further from you now than from them both. Late at night, in the sleeping valley in its very pit, twisting at night on the blank bed sheet, as not mentioned, below at least, with a throb I whip up the pillow by moaning, you. From beyond the seas, its shores connecting in the dark, with my body, your body through all its features, as a crazy mirror reflecting. Thank you.
Wow. Holy shit, Elle.
I actually found this a week ago, and this was like one of my favorite poems from like when I was in uni, like ages ago. And I just randomly ran into it, and I saw the topic today, and I thought I have to read it.
That's goddamn excellent.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Thank you so much. Katie, would you like to go next?
I would, just because I can't concentrate on the poetry people are reading and write at the same time. So I'll read it as a work in progress, and then I can put it away.
Yeah, please.
So this I started writing in my head during yoga-ish, and then mostly wrote in the middle of the night 2 nights ago when I couldn't sleep. It's called Head Over Heart Over Hips. When you're ready, get in a comfortable seat. But there is no comfort in this heat, especially when I'm squirming and can't keep my eyes off your lips. Breathe in, breathe out, head over heart, over hips. Feel your sit bones rooted in the ground. God, your arse is so round as your back arches, then lifts up high, hips towards the sky. They say hips don't lie, and I think I might die if I can't make you mine, but I just want to bang, bang. Hips, get your mind out of the gutter. My heart pounds with every word you utter, and I yearn for you, ache but chastely so. The pace of my heartbeat stutters with the thought of your embrace, and my face splits with joy, like I've just won a race and I don't know how to stop. Roll up slowly, and I'm on top, and yes, I know you think they're hot, and you love them a lot, but let's not lose the plot, but take the opportunity to think coolly. Trust me, they're not perfect. And although you think they're worth it and you're screaming, fuck it, just jerk their pants off and see how they work it. But no matter how good they are in bed or how their mouth is so red, please don't let yourself be led. No, please just let yourself be led by the wisdom of your head, or what the teacher said. Head over heart, over hips.
Yay!
Damn, Katie!
Katie! Every time I think you can't get thirstier.
Oh my god!
Damn, girl!
Can this make a comeback for saucy time?
Yeah. The next saucy time is just going to be Katie reading poetry while everyone else.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Thank you so much, Katie. So I have another one, which is my last one, which is potentially thematically vaguely linked. So I thought I might do that one. If you would be up for that. So this is by Sharon Olds, who is amazing, and I think I have read some of her poetry before, but it's called Sex Without Love. How do they do it, the ones who make love without love? Beautiful as dancers, gliding over each other like ice skaters over the ice, fingers hooked inside each other's bodies, faces red as steak, wine, wet as the children at birth whose mothers are going to give them away. How do they come to the still waters and not love the one who came there with them, light rising slowly as steam off their joined skin? These are the true religious, the purists, the pros, the ones who will not accept a false messiah, love the priest instead of the God. They do not mistake the lover for their own pleasure. They are like great runners. They know they are alone with the road surface, the cold, the wind, the fit of their shoes, their all-over cardiovascular health, just factors like the partner in the bed, and not the truth, which is the single body alone in the universe against its own best time. I think it's a love poem. Would anybody else like to do a one? You okay, Katie?
You've silenced Katie.
It would be a tonal shift, but what about Queen Kong?
Yes, please. I'm all about the tonal shifts.
Well, I think this one is on mine.
Mm. Oh, I'm so sorry, Em, I didn't send that. I'll send that now.
Okay, so this is This is from the Carol Ann Duffy collection that's alternate retellings of things we know about. And this is Queen Kong. It's definitely a love poem. I remember peeping in at his skyscraper room and seeing him fast asleep, my little man. I'd been in Manhattan a week, making my plans, staying at 2 quiet hotels in the village where people were used to strangers and more or less left you alone. To this day, I'm especially fond of pastrami on rye. I digress. As you see, this island's a paradise. He'd arrived, my man, with a documentary team to make a film. There's a particular toad that lays its eggs only here. I found him alone in a clearing, scooped him up in my palm, and held his wriggling, shouting life till he calmed. For me, it was absolutely love at first sight. I'd been so lonely, long nights in the heat of my own pelt, rumbling an animal blues. All right, he was small, but perfectly formed and gorgeous. There were things he could do for me with the sweet finesse of those hands that no gorilla could. I swore in my huge heart to follow him then to the ends of the earth. For he wouldn't stay here, he was nervous. I'd go to his camp each night at dusk, crouch by the delicate tents and wait. His colleagues always sent him out pretty quick. He'd climb into my open hand, sit down, and then I'd gently pick at his shirt and his trews, peel him, put the tip of my tongue to the grape of his flesh. Bliss. But when he'd finished his prize-winning film, he packed his case, hopped up and down on my heartline, miming the flight back home to New York. Big metal bird. Didn't he know I could spot his plane from these skies like a gnat? But I let him go, my man. I watched him fly into the sun as I thumped at my breast distraught. I lasted a month. I slept for a week, then woke to binge for a fortnight. I didn't wash. The parrots clacked their migraine chant. The swinging monkeys whinged. Fevered, I drank handfuls of river right by the spot where he'd bathed. I bled when a fat red moon rolled on the jungle roof. And after that, I decided to get him back. So I came to sail up the Hudson one June night, with the New York skyline a concrete rainforest of light, and felt lovesick and vast, the first glimmer of hope in weeks. I was discreet, prowled those streets in darkness, pressing my passionate eye to 1,000 windows, each with its modest peep show of boredom or pain, of drama, consolation, remorse. I found him, of course, at 3 a.m. on a Sunday, dreaming alone in his single bed. Over his lovely head, a blown-up photograph of myself. I stared for a long time, till my big brown eyes grew moist. Then I padded away through Central Park, under the stars. He was mine. Next day, I shopped. Clothes for my man, mainly, but 1 or 2 treats for myself from Bloomingdale's. I picked him, like a chocolate from the top layer of a box, one Friday night out of his room, and let him dangle in the air between my finger and my thumb in a teasing lover's way. Then we sat on the tip of the Empire State Building, saying farewell to the Brooklyn Bridge, to the winking yellow cabs, to the helicopters over the river, dragonflies. 12 happy years. He slept in my fur, woke early to massage the heavy lids of my eyes. I liked that. He liked me to gently blow on him or scratch, with care, the length of his back with my nail. Then I'd asked him to play on the wooden pipes he'd made in our first year. He'd sit, cross-legged, near my ear, for hours, his plaintive, lost tunes making me cry. When he died, I held him all night, shaking him like a doll, licking his face, breast, soles of his feet, his little rod. But then, heartsore as I was, I set to work. He would be pleased. I wear him now about my neck, perfect, preserved, with tiny emeralds for eyes. No man has been loved more. I'm sure that sometimes, in his silent death, against my massive, breathing lungs, he hears me roar.
Wowzers.
Amazing.
Oh my god, Tina.
Caroline Duffy.
Yeah.
Also all excellent poems.
All about that shit.
Well,
I think we're probably getting towards the end of the evening now. Elle has another one that they would like to do, which they're going to do next. I have one that I would like to do for Bina as a birthday poem, which is not strictly an alternative love poem, in that it's just a love poem, but it's a nice one, and I thought that you might like it, Bina. So, Elle, if you would like to do yours next, and then does anybody else have any kind of burning desire for a one that they would like to get in tonight?
I do have one that's like another Shane Corzin run, because that man's love poems just speak to me, apparently. That's like an awkward teenage love poem that's pretty funny and a little crude, I think. So if people would like to hear that, it's closer to the 5-minute mark, so shorter than the other one.
Cool. Sounds good. So that was your first time reading it?
Really?
Yeah, I just wrote it like 2 weeks ago. So.
Jesus, Elle.
Good.
Fucking hell, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you for letting me read it. I kind of like, it's obviously a bit heavy. I can't really show it to a lot of people I know because mutual friends and all that. So
yeah,
thank you for letting me read it.
Always a space here for anyone to share anything that they would like. So thank you. Em, would you like to do yours?
Fair.
I will do my one for Bina, and then I'm going to bang my gavel. You know, once the gavel has been banged, there's no
we're into bonus time.
We're into bonus time.
Super secret story time.
Super secret story time. Okay. You're up.
Cool. It's another Shane Corzin one. It's called More Often Than Sometimes. If I knew what I know now then, way back when we first met, I'd point to every sunset and say, I drew that for you. Every now and then you can catch it wrinkling in the rain. See, I can talk a good game from the stage, but if you want to gauge a romantic thing said when we were messing up the bed, the best I can give you is, oh my God, we're totally humping. Regardless, there's something beautiful about stating the obvious. All of us do it. In the moments when we can't believe it, we have to say it. It's like pinching yourself to make sure you're awake. Take, for example, something as simple as touching someone. We often say, you're so soft. And the last person to touch them may have said it for the 28th time, but today I'm number 29, and I'm not saying it for her benefit, I'm saying it for mine. Because there's almost 7 billion people in the world, half of which are men. And when the number of them is 3.5 billion, it's pretty fucking cool that I was number 29. And once upon a time, I was first in line for a girl with with freckles and strawberry blonde hair. We loved like an electric chair hooked up to a nuclear power plant and plugged into the sun, and everything we did had never been done. I woke up the next morning with a smile that told the world, I'm number one. I think of her more often than sometimes, and if she ever hears this, I want her to know that our first kiss tasted like pepper. I met her on June 27th. That year, it was Yellowknife's first day of continual light, and despite the sun not setting that night, we each went home alone, even though our parents told us, be home before dark. We could have stayed out for weeks. We could have watched the way the sun leaks like liquid over the horizon, casting shadows over all the right places of a bargain bin where love was 75% off, and we were collectively 25 cents away from forever. There are times in the north when the sun never sets. It gets confusing when we ask ourselves questions like, is it too late or too early? More often than sometimes we don't care. We lived like 2 games of solitaire waiting to be played by one another. Her mother once asked me, do you love her? And I said if there were 1 million teachers breathing down my neck telling me that the answer is no, I would say yes. I guess that was enough for her because that girl's father palmed me a condom and wished me a happy birthday. Even now, there's no way to tell whether that awkward or creepy. We loved like 2 hitmen hell-bent on assassinating regret. Her orgasm was a wet gremlin multiplying itself into another. Her younger brother knocked on the bedroom door asking, what are you guys doing in there? And somewhere amid the awesome and all of the in-between, we replied in unison, studying. And we were. I wrote notes on her skin in flesh-toned permanent ink that would sink and sit inside as I tried to underline the important parts of her. Belly button, birthmark, collarbone. I wrote notes explaining that hers felt like silk stretched over stone. I told her, you're so soft. She smiled and said, duh, followed by, my belly button is not an erogenous zone. And I said, I hate that word. And she asked, which one? I said, erogenous, and told her, there's beauty in the obvious, and your belly button is where you started. It's where cells divided and grew into you. So let me do what students best. You can test me later, but right now, let me study. She said, you're lucky this is a take-home test, boy. I highlighted and double underlined. Lips. I think of the beauty in the obvious, the way it forces us to admit how it exists, the way it insists on being pointed out like a bloody nose, or how every time it snows, there's always someone around to say, it's snowing. But the obvious isn't showing off. It's only reminding us that time passes and that somewhere along the way we grew up. Not perfect, but up and out. It teaches us something about time, that we are all ticking and talking, walking the fine line between days and weeks, as if each second speaks of years and each month has years, listening to forever, but never hearing anything beyond centuries swallowed up by millenniums. As if time was calculating sums needed to fill the empty belly of eternity. We so seldom understand each other. But if understanding is neither here nor there and the universe is infinite, then understand that no matter where we go, we will always be smack dab in the middle of nowhere. All we can do is share some piece of ourselves and hope that it's remembered. Hope that we meant something to someone. My chest is a cannon that I've used to take aim and shoot my heart upon this world. I love the way an uncurled fist becomes a hand again, because when I take notes, I need it to underline the important parts of you. Happy, sad, lovely. Battle cry ballistic like a disaster, or a lipstick earthquaking and taking out the monuments of all my hollow yesterdays. We'll always have the obvious. It reminds us who and where we are. It lives like a heart shape, like a jar that we hand to each other and ask, can you open this for me? And we always get the same answer. Not without breaking it. More often than sometimes, I say, go for it.
God damn. He's so great.
There's something about like describing orgasms as gremlins, and I still like this poem.
It reminded me of a Hera Lindsay Bird one, which is called Ways of Making Love, if we've got time to squeeze it in, which has like some ridiculous analogies, but it's kind of great.
I mean, it is your birthday edition. Well, hold on. How about, let me do this one and let me officially draw this to a close. And then you can always do it in the bonus Storytime after chat. How's that?
Sure.
Okay, so I will. So this is not exactly part of the theme, but I discovered it the other day and I thought that it was nice. And so Bina, I thought that I would do this for you as a birthday poem, if that would suit you. Oh, sorry, I'll just drop it into the chat. It's by Jimmy Santiago Baca, and it's called I Am Offering This Poem. I am offering this poem to you, since I have nothing else to give. Keep it like a warm coat when winter comes to cover you, or like a pair of thick socks the cold cannot bite through. I love you. I have nothing else to give you, so it is a pot full of yellow corn to warm your belly in winter. It is a scarf for your head to wear over your hair, to tie up around your face. I love you. Keep it. Treasure this as you would if you were lost, needing direction. In the wilderness life becomes when mature. And in the corner of your drawer, tucked away like a cabin or hogan in dense trees, come knocking, and I will answer, give you directions, and let you warm yourself by this fire. Rest by this fire and make you feel safe. I love you. It's all I have to give, and all anyone needs to live, and to go on living inside when the world outside no longer cares if you live or die. Remember, I love you.
That was great.
So lovely.
How cute is that?
So sweet.
Happy birthday, Bina.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to officially draw this edition of Poetry Time to an end. I will probably go away and go to bed and have a cup of tea. Stay and party, you crazy kids. Thank you so much to everyone who came, and thank you everyone who read, and especially everyone who read their own work. Yet another lovely edition. And yeah, I will see you all, not next week, because next week I am still on holiday, but the weekend after, when I'll pick a theme and inform you all about it.
Are you going to be doing poetry time next week then?
I am not, because I will be in a tent. So next.
Would you like me to do it?
If you would like to do it, that would be amazing.
Yes, the theme will be nonsense and whimsy.
Yes.
Ooh, good theme.
Katie, I love you.
You can watch the replay, Frankie.
I will watch the replay.
I have an entire book of nonsense poetry, so if no one else turns up, I will just sit and read it to the catch-up crew.
Perfect. Nobody else come, and so that we can all just have Katie reading nonsense poetry for an hour. Right. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Frankie.
Goodbye to the catch-up crew watching this. Good
night.
night.
Bye, catch-up crew.
Bye, catch-up crew.
I'm recording.
We're still recording. How is that even possible without Frankie?
Whoever the host is.
It's Al.
Ooh, yeah. We can leave it recording if Bina wants to record the poem, or we can say an extra goodbye and surprise Frankie again.
Bonus story time it's ever recorded.
Okay. Bye, future Frankie.
Bye, future Frankie.
Bye. We love you.
Only if we stop the recording. Are we doing bonus poems?
Oh yeah, I know. Al, can you stop the recording? Or you can make me host and I can.